The Italian press leaks that Lewis Hamilton won't last 2 years at Ferrari. Stay until the end, and I'll explain why. Subscribe only if you want Hamilton to win his 8th World Championship and be crowned as the greatest driver in history. Lewis Hamilton's shocking decision to leave Mercedes and join Ferrari has thrown the entire Formula One world into a frenzy, igniting heated debates, intense speculation, and a tidal wave of bold predictions. This is not just a career move, it's a seismic shift in the sport, a high-stakes gamble that could either cement his legacy as the greatest of all time or become the most high-profile misstep of his illustrious career. Walking away from the team that helped him win 6 of his 7 world championships, a team that built cars capable of dominating an era, to step into a Ferrari machine that has been plagued by inconsistency, strategy blunders, and internal turmoil, is a risk that few would dare to take. And yet Hamilton, a driver who has thrived under pressure, is embracing the challenge. Ferrari has not tasted championship glory since 2007 when Kimi Räikkönen pulled off an unexpected triumph, and the Scuderia has spent the last decade and a half stumbling through missed opportunities, leadership shakeups, and a relentless struggle to regain its position at the top. While Charles Leclerc has shown flashes of brilliance, Ferrari has lacked the consistency and strategic sharpness to truly challenge Red Bull or even Mercedes in recent seasons. But now, with Hamilton's arrival, everything changes. The weight of expectation is colossal. Can his unparalleled experience, ruthless racecraft, and championship-winning mindset transform Ferrari into a title-winning force once again, or is he walking into a political minefield that will swallow him whole? Subscribe only if you want Hamilton to win his 8th World Championship and be crowned as the greatest driver in history. Not everyone believes Hamilton's Ferrari adventure will be a success. In fact, some are convinced it will end in disaster sooner than anyone expects. One of the most outspoken skeptics? None other than Bernie Ecclestone, the former ruler of Formula One, a man who has never shied away from controversy. Ecclestone has made headlines by bluntly stating that Hamilton won't even last the full duration of his 2-year contract at Maranello. According to Ecclestone, something will unravel before the deal reaches its conclusion, whether it's frustration with Ferrari's infamous internal politics, the inability to develop a truly competitive car, or simply the realization that he made the wrong move at the wrong time. This bombshell claim has only added more fuel to the raging speculation surrounding Hamilton's decision. Could he really walk away before even attempting to complete his mission? Would Ferrari's infamous mismanagement push him to the breaking point? Is this going to be another chapter in the long history of great drivers who joined Ferrari with high hopes, only to leave empty-handed? The likes of Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel came with the same dream, returning the prancing horse to championship glory, but both ultimately left frustrated, their title hopes crushed by poor strategy, technical failures, and internal conflicts. Subscribe only if you want Hamilton to win his 8th World Championship and be crowned as the greatest driver in history. Hamilton, however, is no ordinary driver. His career has been defined by defying the odds, silencing critics, and proving doubters wrong. He went head-to-head with Fernando Alonso as a rookie, dethroned the dominant Sebastian Vettel era, took on Nico Rosberg in a fiery intra-team battle, and even fought Max Verstappen in one of the most controversial title showdowns in history. If anyone can take on the seemingly impossible task of restoring Ferrari to greatness, it's him. But will the team give him what he needs to succeed? Or will Ferrari's long-standing weaknesses, erratic decision-making, questionable race strategies, and internal power struggles, prove to be an insurmountable obstacle even for a driver of Hamilton's caliber? The paddock is buzzing with speculation. Some insiders claim Hamilton has been given ironclad assurances that Ferrari will prioritize him over Leclerc. Others suggest that tensions could flare up if the Monegasque star refuses to play second fiddle. With Leclerc deeply embedded in Ferrari's long-term vision and adored by Tifosi, how will he react to the arrival of a 7-time world champion demanding #1 treatment? Will Ferrari's political landscape turn toxic, setting the stage for another intra-team war? Subscribe only if you want Hamilton to win his 8th World Championship and be crowned as the greatest driver in history. Red Bull and Mercedes are watching closely. Christian Horner and Helmut Marko, never ones to miss a chance to stir the pot, have already suggested that Hamilton may have underestimated the difficulties of working within Ferrari's unique ecosystem. Toto Wolff, the mastermind behind Mercedes' dominance, has remained composed in public, but behind closed doors, there are whispers that Mercedes is quietly confident it will have the last laugh. What if Hamilton's Ferrari stint turns sour, and the doors at Brackley remain open for a dramatic return? Could this be just a temporary detour before he finishes his career back at the team that made him a legend? The stakes have never been higher. Hamilton's Ferrari chapter could be the crowning achievement of his extraordinary career, the moment he etches his name alongside Schumacher as a driver who conquered the sport with the most legendary team of all time. Or it could be the moment his empire crumbles, a move that tarnishes his legacy and leaves him watching as Red Bull, Mercedes, and even McLaren surge ahead. As the new season approaches, the anticipation is reaching fever pitch. Will Hamilton prove his doubters wrong yet again, or will Ferrari's curse strike once more? The world is watching. The pressure is immense. The time for talk is almost over. Now it's time to see if Hamilton's boldest gamble will pay off, or if this will go down as the biggest mistake of his career. Subscribe only if you want Hamilton to win his 8th World Championship and be crowned as the greatest driver in history. Bernie Ecclestone's skepticism about Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari isn't just casual speculation. It's rooted in a deep understanding of the sport's political landscape, the internal workings of Ferrari, and the psychological battles that unfold behind closed doors. This isn't just another driver transfer. This is a seismic shift in Formula One, a decision that could redefine Hamilton's legacy or completely derail it. And at the center of it all, Piero Ferrari, the enigmatic figure who, according to Ecclestone, played the most crucial role in luring the 7-time world champion to Maranello. But was this a masterstroke, or a colossal miscalculation? Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari is being celebrated as the biggest move in modern F1 history, but what if it turns out to be a disaster? What if the fairy tale turns into a nightmare? What if the reality of Ferrari's internal politics, their historic favoritism toward their own, and their often chaotic decision-making process prove to be too much, even for a driver of Hamilton's caliber? Piero Ferrari may have envisioned himself as the architect of a new golden era, but if Hamilton struggles, if Ferrari's expectations aren't met, there will be serious consequences. This is a team that has been desperate for success, and desperation breeds pressure. If things go wrong, Piero could find himself in the crosshairs, blamed for bringing in a driver who, despite his immense talent, may not be able to thrive in Ferrari's unique and often brutal environment. And then there's Charles Leclerc. Hamilton is no stranger to internal battles with teammates. He's gone toe-to-toe with some of the best in the business. But Ferrari is a different beast. Unlike Mercedes, where Hamilton had years of dominance, clear number one status, and unwavering team support, Ferrari operates under different rules. Leclerc isn't just another teammate. He's the man Ferrari has been grooming as their long-term leader, the driver they've invested in since 2019, the fan favorite who speaks the language, knows the culture, and has built deep-rooted relationships within the Scuderia. Ecclestone doesn't just think this will be a challenge. He believes it could be Hamilton's undoing. Ferrari has a long history of internal power struggles, and Hamilton, despite his incredible talent, is stepping into a political minefield. Even if he performs at a high level, there's no guarantee he'll receive the same treatment he enjoyed at Mercedes. Imagine a scenario where Leclerc is consistently given preferential strategy calls, where Ferrari's race decisions seem to subtly lean in his favor. What happens when team orders come into play? What if there's a controversial call that benefits Leclerc at Hamilton's expense? Will Hamilton, at this stage of his career, tolerate playing second fiddle in any capacity? The media frenzy will be relentless. Every single radio message, every strategy call, every pit stop will be scrutinized. If Ferrari makes even the slightest misstep in managing their two drivers, it could spiral into a civil war within the team. And history has shown that when Ferrari implodes internally, it does so spectacularly. Ecclestone's warning isn't just about Hamilton's ability, it's about the nature of Ferrari itself. This is a team that has struggled with internal cohesion for decades, a team that has seen legendary drivers like Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel leave in frustration after failing to crack the code of Maranello. Even Michael Schumacher, Ferrari's most successful driver, had to spend years navigating the team's politics before establishing his dominance. And let's not forget, Ferrari hasn't won a driver's title since 2007. That's a staggering 18 years without a champion if Hamilton doesn't deliver in 2025. The weight of that drought will be on his shoulders the moment he steps into that garage. The fans, the tifosi, the media, and even the Ferrari leadership will demand immediate results. What happens if Ferrari's car isn't as competitive as expected? What if Red Bull continues to dominate? What if Mercedes regains form and leaves Ferrari behind? Will Hamilton have the patience to endure another development project, or will he regret leaving Mercedes, a team that built its empire around him? There's also the question of age. Hamilton is no longer the young, hungry driver he was when he joined Mercedes in 2013. He's 40, and while he's still performing at an elite level, there's no denying that time is ticking. If the Ferrari project takes too long to bear fruit, he might find himself in a position where his last years in F1 are spent chasing rather than leading. And what if it all goes wrong? What if Ferrari, in their desperation to end their championship drought, finds themselves divided between two incredible drivers, unable to fully back either one? What if Leclerc, feeling threatened, starts playing politics behind the scenes? What if Hamilton grows frustrated with the team's erratic decision-making, their slow in-season development, their history of strategic blunders? This move isn't just about winning races, it's about legacy. If Hamilton succeeds, he cements himself as the greatest of all time, a driver who conquered two of the most dominant teams in F1 history. But if he fails, if this becomes another chapter in Ferrari's long list of miscalculations, then his final years in the sport could be overshadowed by regret. And if that happens, Piero Ferrari won't just be remembered as the man who brought Hamilton to Ferrari. He'll be remembered as the man who set the stage for one of the most controversial career moves in Formula One history. Hamilton is gambling everything. The question is, will it pay off? Or will this be the biggest mistake of his career? Ecclestone's take on Hamilton's current situation is nothing short of provocative, and it raises serious questions about whether the seven-time world champion still has the fire to fight at the very top. While many have speculated that Hamilton's age is finally catching up with him, Ecclestone dismisses that notion entirely. According to the former F1 Supremo, it's not the number of years Hamilton has been alive that matters, it's the sheer length of time he has been competing at the highest level. Hamilton has spent nearly 2 decades in the pressure cooker of Formula One, battling at the front, chasing records, and delivering performances that have cemented his place among the all-time greats. But could that relentless grind finally be taking its toll? Ecclestone suggests that Hamilton, after achieving almost everything there is to achieve in the sport, may no longer possess the same ruthless hunger that once made him a dominant force. When he was a young driver with everything to prove, every race, every pole position, and every championship was a step toward fulfilling a lifelong dream. But now, with 7 titles under his belt and a legacy already secured, the challenge of pushing himself to the absolute limit may not hold the same appeal. The difference between a driver desperately chasing his first title and one who has already made history is monumental. The psychological aspect of elite competition is often overlooked, but Ecclestone believes it's a crucial factor in determining whether Hamilton can still perform at his peak. Moving to Ferrari presents an entirely new challenge, but it's one that comes with immense pressure. Unlike Mercedes, where Hamilton was the undisputed #1 driver for years, Ferrari is a team with its own deep-rooted expectations and a fanbase that demands nothing less than perfection. Ecclestone speculates that if Hamilton was still the same hungry, aggressive, and relentless driver he once was, the move to Ferrari might have been the perfect opportunity to rejuvenate his career. But is that really the case? Or has the desire to fight through the inevitable struggles of developing a competitive Ferrari waned? Ecclestone's perspective is particularly interesting given his history with Hamilton. When Hamilton first burst onto the scene in 2007, Ecclestone was one of his biggest supporters. He often praised Hamilton's raw talent, his electrifying driving style, and the energy he brought to the sport. For years, Ecclestone was a strong advocate for Hamilton, publicly backing him and recognizing his star power as something that was great for Formula One. However, their relationship took a dramatic turn as Hamilton became more vocal about issues beyond racing. The turning point came when Hamilton started using his platform to speak out on social and political matters, challenging the sport's leadership and pushing for greater diversity in motorsport. Ecclestone, who had long been known for his old-school approach, made headlines with a highly controversial remark about race, claiming that black people are more racist than white people. Hamilton, who has been a leading voice for diversity and inclusion in F1, did not hold back in his response, publicly condemning Ecclestone's statement as ignorant and deeply offensive. That moment marked a clear fracture in their once strong relationship, and since then, the dynamic between the two has never been the same. Despite their history, Ecclestone's latest comments are bound to reignite debate about Hamilton's motivation and his ability to compete at the highest level. The move to Ferrari is one of the biggest storylines in recent F1 history, and there is no shortage of speculation about whether it will be a fairy tale ending to Hamilton's career or a frustrating chapter that exposes the brutal realities of a sport that waits for no one. Will Hamilton silence his critics and prove he still has the hunger to take on the best? Or is Ecclestone right in suggesting that the relentless pursuit of greatness has finally caught up with him? The 2025 season may hold the answer. The fallout between Lewis Hamilton and Bernie Ecclestone has only grown more intense over the years, reaching new levels of tension after the explosive conclusion of the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. That race didn't just cost Hamilton his record-breaking 8th world title, it ignited one of the most controversial debates in Formula One history. Millions around the world believed the race director's handling of the final laps unjustly handed the championship to Max Verstappen, leaving Hamilton and Mercedes stunned. But while fans and pundits alike rallied behind Hamilton, Ecclestone took a vastly different stance, openly backing Verstappen and Red Bull, dismissing Hamilton's grievances, and even suggesting that he should have walked away from the sport altogether. Ecclestone's criticism of Hamilton hasn't stopped since. Instead, it has intensified, with the former F1 Supremo repeatedly downplaying Hamilton's achievements, questioning his motivation, and taking Verstappen's side in every debate. Whether it's about raw talent, mental toughness, or outright legacy, Ecclestone has made it clear where his loyalties lie, and Hamilton has been a frequent target of his biting remarks. Now, with Hamilton's shocking move to Ferrari sending shockwaves through the paddock, Ecclestone has once again jumped at the opportunity to belittle him, raising questions about his decision and fueling speculation that the seven-time champion has made the biggest mistake of his career. The breakdown of their relationship is more evident than ever. What was once a dynamic of mutual respect has turned into a cold war of words. But if there's one thing Hamilton has mastered over the years, it's proving his critics wrong. Time and time again, he has faced adversity, skepticism, and intense pressure, only to rise above it all. From his stunning rookie season to breathtaking comeback victories, from his record-breaking dominance in the turbo-hybrid era to standing tall against off-track battles, Hamilton has defied the odds like no other driver in history. Yet, his decision to join Ferrari presents a challenge unlike anything he's encountered before. The prancing horse isn't just another team, it's an entirely different beast. The weight of expectation is suffocating, the political dynamics within the team are notoriously volatile, and the demands from the tifosi can make or break even the greatest of champions. If Hamilton succeeds, it will be an achievement that cements his place as the greatest driver of all time, silencing every doubter and rewriting history once again. But if things unravel, if Ferrari fails to deliver a car capable of challenging for titles, if internal power struggles derail his ambitions, or if his own patience wears thin, this could become the most frustrating, disheartening chapter of his career. The stakes could not be higher. This is not just another move, this is the ultimate gamble. Will Hamilton's legendary resilience carry him through the fire, or is this the beginning of a farewell that no one saw coming? As the new season looms ever closer, the motorsport world is bracing for what could be one of the most electrifying and controversial storylines in recent history. The stakes have never been higher, and the pressure mounting on Lewis Hamilton has reached an intensity few drivers in the history of the sport have ever faced. With 7 world titles under his belt, a legendary career filled with record-breaking performances, and an undeniable legacy that has shaped modern Formula One, Hamilton finds himself at a crossroads that could redefine his place among the all-time greats. The whispers of doubt, the lingering questions about whether his best days are behind him, and the ever-present debate over whether this move to Ferrari is a stroke of genius or a desperate gamble are fueling endless speculation. Bernie Ecclestone, a figure who has never shied away from making bold statements, has now thrown gasoline onto an already raging fire, predicting an outcome that could send shockwaves through the paddock. If his words hold any weight, are we on the verge of witnessing a dramatic fall from grace, a miscalculated leap into the unknown, or perhaps the greatest resurgence in Formula One history? Will Hamilton, a man known for defying the odds, rewriting history, and proving his doubters wrong time and time again, once again silence the critics and cement his status as an unstoppable force? Or will he find himself trapped in a nightmare scenario, struggling with an uncooperative car, internal team politics, and the relentless pressure that comes with the prancing horse's unforgiving expectations? Ferrari, a team that has lived through its own share of triumphs and heartbreaks, is betting everything on Hamilton's ability to lead them back to the promised land. The weight of expectations is astronomical, the anticipation reaching fever pitch, and the hunger for success never more palpable. The tifosi, the most passionate and demanding fanbase in motorsport, will expect nothing less than immediate results. But can Hamilton deliver? Will he be given the tools necessary to fight at the very top, or will he find himself entangled in the same struggles that have plagued the Scuderia for years? And what about the fierce competition he will face on the grid? Red Bull remains a juggernaut, with Max Verstappen looking virtually unstoppable. Mercedes, the team Hamilton called home for over a decade, will undoubtedly be looking to prove they can win without him. McLaren is surging forward, eager to reclaim their place among the frontrunners. And then there's Ferrari's own internal challenge. Will Charles Leclerc accept Hamilton's arrival as a partnership, or will tensions rise, creating a power struggle that could destabilize the team from within? The drama, the speculation, the intensity, it's all reaching a boiling point. Every practice session, every qualifying lap, every race start will be dissected, scrutinized, and debated endlessly. The cameras will be fixed on every move Hamilton makes, every radio message he delivers, every reaction he shows. The pressure will be relentless, the scrutiny unforgiving. This isn't just another chapter in his career. This is a defining moment that could determine whether he walks away from the sport as the ultimate hero or as a legend whose final gamble didn't pay off. One thing is certain, the world will be watching, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the battle that lies ahead is about to shake the very foundations of Formula One.